Yes, sir. Welcome, welcome. Hope you all are having a great day. Things have been kind of up and down and around, but no complaints over here. Just want to give a shout out to all the crystalline beings out there, to all the rainbow young star seeds out there, to all the gods and goddesses of this earth. I honor you and I value you. One love, sending love, light, and peace energy. Now, Christ consciousness is here. What, you didn't know? You already know. I know you see the changes taking place, so let's talk about it. Come on in. You're now intergalactically tapped in. For all y'all that wanna what, wanna who, wanna know, this is Astro. Let's go. Alright, y'all. This is gonna be a really quick video. Not gonna hold you up, but something I want to talk about. And this is an interesting topic. It's called Christ consciousness. Alright? Now, in no way, shape, or form am I religious. In no way, shape, or form do I claim to be religious or prescribe to any particular religion. Right? I study a lot of literature. I study lots of information. And I like to get my information from a lot of sources, which helps me raise my consciousness because I'm always asking questions, and those questions lead me to answers, which lead to more questions. All I'm saying is I've always been the type to question my reality and the information that was fed to me, especially if it seemed forced, and especially if most of the questions I ask were kind of shut down and made it seem like, why are you even asking that question? Well, I always thought it was a valid question. You know? I always thought it was valid to ask certain questions, like, for instance, if God does exist and he's up there watching us down here, okay, if God really truly exists and he's up there watching us down here right now, and he's ever loving, like they say, right? And I know what they say, freedom of choice, you get the right to choose, free will. Would he just sit here and watch innocent babies, children who haven't matured yet and who can't make the free will or the free choices, the right choices, who can't make the right choices on their own, who didn't choose to be kidnapped, tortured, and hurt, and have horrific things happen to them? Those who can't choose, what about them? What free will did they get to exercise? What free choice did they have? That's all I want to know. All the innocent children, all the innocent babies that are getting snatched up, that don't have a choice, what about them? Do they deserve for that to happen to them? The ones in the underground bases, right? Trafficking everywhere, all that going on all across the country. I tell you one thing. I know if I was God, I want to sit back and watch that happen. Right? I know if I was God, I wouldn't sit back and watch a child go through that kind of suffering, an innocent child go through that kind of suffering. And guess what? Even now that I'm here in the physical form, I still won't let that happen in front of me. So I say to you, if he truly does exist, and we are him and we come from him, why is this happening? Why is he, she, or it, whatever it is, allowing this to happen? It shouldn't happen. Okay? Just because it's not happening to you, or you didn't see it happen, or it didn't happen to someone you know, or your child, doesn't mean it's not happening. And I refuse to live on this planet knowing this is happening right underneath my feet. And not spreading awareness so we can do something about this, because we're not waiting for a savior. We're not waiting for anything to come here, right? Because what we're waiting for is already here. It's Christ consciousness. And that's the highest level of consciousness. What is Christ consciousness, right? It's the information, it's the knowing. It's the Christ knowledge, it's the crystal knowledge. And the things I speak about, this is the Christ knowledge. This is the knowledge that's hidden from you, been kept from you. You've been told the exact opposite. You've been led astray. They tell you it's good to release 3 or 4 times a week because it's good for stress. It's good for a stress reliever. First of all, okay, yeah, we all get stressed. But we shouldn't be. You know why? Because we live on Earth where there's enough for everybody. And everybody has, should have, and has food, water, and drink. And extra time for recreational activities to explore their gifts. So they're happy. There is no stress. So why would you need to release? How would you need to release? Is it because they set it up for you to be stressed out so you have to release? In any ways, it's just a quick dopamine fix. That's all it is. It's a quick high. It's just a quick dopamine fix. You think it's over with, it's over with. And back to square one. All that consciousness, all that download you could have received, just gone, squandered away. Right? But Christ consciousness is here. And that's the knowledge. That's the knowledge of self, the knowledge of higher self. The knowledge of what's happening in you. Right? The science of what's happening in you. Because I try to say that semen retention is not just a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. Okay? That light inside you. That light that you're holding inside you. That energy carries a lot of information. A lot of light. A lot of power. A lot of magnetism. A lot of electricism. A lot of electricity. And magnetism. And also plasma. So this energy is very powerful because it collects information and it holds information. And not only that, it receives information. Right? The cerebral spinal fluid from your brain. The oxytocin from your pituitary gland. The melatonin from your pineal gland. These liquid hold plasma and hold information. They receive and transmit information from the sun, from the ether. So whatever information is out in the cosmos, as long as you're living right, you're saving your seed, you're holding in your oil, Christ oil, you're letting that oil burn, you're letting that fire burn, heat up, you're letting it rise. Christ consciousness is here, so what are you going to get? You're going to receive that information, because that's what consciousness is. Consciousness is the subconscious and the conscious. That's your consciousness, and it's all information. Knowing thyself, knowing that inner voice, hearing that inner voice, recognizing it, making that inner voice what you want it to be. Right? So Christ consciousness is here. You just gotta tap in. You just gotta tap in and tune in. And I've given you the easiest way, the easiest blueprint to tap in. And that's semen retention. That's reserving your sex energy. That's transmuting your sex energy. And that's the key. That's the start. If you're a male, that's the start. It's one of the hardest things to do. I promise it is. Not even going to try to sugarcoat it. One of the hardest things to do. But it must be done. Because a lot of us lack discipline. A lot of us lack discipline. And this right here is the gateway to fixing all that shit. All those problems. Because if you can abstain from something that's so easy to obtain, so easy to obtain that orgasm. It's so easy because porn is easily accessible. It's so easy because masturbation is so convenient. The hardest thing to do is to turn away from all of that. Put your consciousness, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit into other things. And leave that alone. Give your mind a break. Give your body a break. Save your seed. Save your energy. Save your nutrients. Save your testosterone. Save your cerebral spinal fluid. Save your pineal gland fluid. Save your pituitary gland fluid. Save the milk and the honey and the plasma. Your electromagnetism. Save it. Let it grow, because that's what it is. You're like a battery. You get charged in, and the charge just keeps getting better and better. And this Christ consciousness is here. And it's not just a consciousness of information. It's also a changing. We're becoming Christ, literally. Christ beings, Christos beings, crystalline beings. Meaning, the energy that's here is light energy. So you want to fill yourself with light in order to receive this light energy, because if you're not filled with light, if you squandering, you hating, you're not eating right, you're not exercising, you're not eating the sun, then guess what? It's gonna take you out. It's gonna take you out, because that Christ energy is very powerful stuff. It's very powerful stuff, but in order to receive it, you have to be in alignment with it. And semen retention is the fastest, easiest way to get you in alignment with it. 120 days. 120 days, my people. You gotta do it. 120 days, in 120 days, you will face your demons. You will face your demons. They will manifest in all kinds of ways. Okay, physically, metaphysically. But you will be strong enough to battle them. You know why? Because you're building up your discipline. You see? You're building up your discipline. You're building up your willpower. You're building up your inner strength. And that right there gives you honor. That right there gives you virtue. That right there gives you integrity. That right there turns you into the man you're supposed to be. Spiritually. Because that's what we all want to do, is get connected to nature. Get in touch and connected to our higher selves. Right? Because the new earth is here. Christ consciousness is here. So the way we live is going to be different. Ain't no time for squandering and wasting our energy. Okay, we're going to be playing, but we're going to be exploring our gifts. We're going to be using our energy, that light energy that's within us, to heal the planet, to heal each other. Right? Through reservation of this energy over long periods of time, filling yourself with this light and this plasma energy that's here in this earth, that UVC radiation, right? That's why your skies are purple. Don't act like you ain't seen it. How is it at sunset the skies is purple? And you've seen the rainbow halos everywhere. I know you've seen the rainbow halos around the moon, around the sun. What do those rainbow colors mean? Those sun dogs? That means heavy UV radiation has hit ground level. It's already in our upper atmosphere and it's hit ground level. You see it. Sunrise and sunset, purple skies, pink skies. And what does purple represent? Purple represents the crown chakra. That's right, the purple color represents the crown chakra, which is the highest level of consciousness. And that is Christ consciousness. Okay? So Christ consciousness is knowing what you have to do to be in line with this consciousness. You gotta eat right. Okay? No eating dead animals. Have a plant-based diet. Sun gazing, meditating, praying, whatever, what have you. Exercising. Okay? Expanding your mind, your consciousness, your knowledge. Being on semen retention if you're a man, saving your sex energy. Okay, letting that cycle repeat within you, because it's a 30-day cycle for the cerebral spinal fluid to go from your brain, pituitary gland, and the pineal to go from your brain down to your solar plexus, down to your sacrum, where the sperm is created, and the life energy and the energon is created, along with the plasma and light. If it sits there and it's not squandered after 30 days, 30 days of information, 30 days of you exercising, eating right. That's all information you're sending to your body. You're taking care of yourself. Meditating, sun gazing, all this information goes right back into you. You get all the nutrients from not wasting the sperm or the seminal fluid, seminal plasma fluid. And guess what? The cerebral spinal fluids become light because it's full of light energy. It wasn't squandered, and after 30 days it becomes light. It literally goes against gravity and rises up the kundalini, up the central cavity of your spine, up the Ida and the Pingala, which is the pituitary and the pineal gland tubes, the ventricle tubes, right back up to the hypothalamus, where it sits there for a couple days waiting to be received and transmuted into different parts of your brain, waking up different dormant parts of your brain, and also transmuted into your pineal and your pituitary gland, crystallizing it, cleaning it, decalcifying it, opening it up, giving you that knowledge, making you receive knowledge. And this is how you become woke. This is how you come out of that coma that you're in. This is what semen retention does. I've just explained to you briefly how the science works, right? And now UVC radiation, okay, it's coming off the sun. It's heating up the planet. EMP, electromagnetic plasma, is coming off the sun, What is plasma? Plasma is so hot, right? Plasma is the hottest fourth fourth type of matter that exists. Okay? And how is plasma formed? Plasma is literally so hot, electrons ripped away from atoms forming ionized gas. This is what plasma is. And plasma is UVC radiation. And UVC radiation is highly dangerous if you're not taking care of yourself. Right? UVC radiation from the sun can cause skin cancer. Okay? It can cause skin cancer, it can cause melanoma. Okay? And a whole bunch of like sunburns and a whole bunch of different skin cancers and just, yeah, terrible things. If you're not on your job, UVC is not going to be your friend. But if you're on your job, UVC is your friend because you are plasma, you are energy, you are radiation. Okay, but in order to get the good effects of radiation, you have to be detoxed, you have to be clean, you have to vibrate high, right? And consciousness has, your awareness has to be top notch. You have to be tuned in, you have to be tapped in. Okay, because UVC, once it hits you, it changes you. It changes your DNA permanently. Once UVC hits you, it changes your DNA and RNA permanently. Okay, and that's happening right now on a daily basis. For better or for worse. It's a slow process because it has to be a slow process. For us to become who we're gonna be, we have to take time, and a lot of us need to get on the train right now so we can receive those blessings. Because there will be a window of opportunity, and then that window of opportunity is going to be gone, and there's going to be a cap. And if we're not vibrating high like we're supposed to be, our realities are going to be different, and we're going to be left behind. So that's not what I want for. That's not what I want to happen to our brothers and sisters, right? All I know is the easiest way to vibrate high is to save your sex energy. It's also the hardest way. Okay? But refraining from porn frees your mind. Refraining from masturbation frees your body. Refraining from orgasm frees your spirit. Right? And you don't get hooked on that quick dopamine heroin fix. You use your mind for other things. To start thinking on a 5D level, on a higher dimensional level. Right? And you'll be forced to do this. When you're on semen retention, you'll be forced to face your demons. You'll be forced to think on a higher level. Because if you're not squandering, using your time for other things, you will start to find yourself. You will create a new way and a new way of thinking. You will become disciplined in every other area of your life. You'll become disciplined in, if you exercising, you become more disciplined in that. If you eating right, you become more disciplined in that. Whatever it is, it just magnifies it because it magnifies your energy. It magnifies your electricity. It magnifies your magnetism. It magnifies your plasma energy. And you have plasma running all through your body, all through you. You're made up of 99.9% plasma. Alright, so you are fire. You are water. You are earth. You are air. You are all these things. It's already within you. We just have to tap into those energies and know that we are part of that energy. And as the earth rises into this new solar system, it's going to be full of this energy. And we have to tap in. And the way to tap in, you got to be 5D. The way to be 5D, you got to be on semen retention. Because semen retention makes you vibrate high. Makes you vibrate really high. It's the cheat code. I don't know what else to tell you guys, but it's definitely the way to go. If you're a man, this is what you need to be doing to tap into that Christ consciousness, right? Because Christ consciousness is already here, and it's powerful, feminine, divine energy. Powerful, divine, feminine energy. And that's why they always use X to represent Christ, right? That's why when you look at Christmas, you have Xmas, and Christ equals X. X represents the female chromosome, because the females have the double X. X is the female chromosome. You have the planet X, Nibiru, which is a huge planet, Tiamat, full of divine feminine energy. That's why you see all these rainbow colors everywhere, because that X energy is here, that Christ energy is here. And since that Christ X energy is here, this is when we start to mutate and turn into X-Men. Right? That's why the X is there. X represents that energy. X represents that Christ consciousness. This is why they were X-Men, because they tuned in, tapped into that Christ consciousness. That's why they can mutate and become mutants and have all those special abilities and powers. Right? And that's what the X represents. X represents that higher consciousness. This is why you had Malcolm X. Malcolm X achieved Christ consciousness. He went 12 years on semen retention. Look it up. 12 years, no PMO. Straight God mode. That's why he became who he was. He went from being a jailbird to being everywhere, to being nationally, worldwide known. You know him all over the cosmos. Right? So Malcolm X represents that Christ energy. That's why they put an X, because that represents Malcolm Christ. 12 years on semen retention, right? And that's what it is. That's that cycle, 12. This is why Christ had 12 disciples. These 12 disciples represents the 12 parts of your brain. Alright? The 12 neurons are the 12 electrical parts of your brain. Right? Also, 12, we have 12 months in the calendar. Also, the cycle of semen retention happens 12 times a year. It happens once a month, 12 times a year. And if you did that for 12 years, that's when you reach true Christhood. Because that's what Jesus did. Jesus went away at 12 and came back when he was 24, because he completed the 12-year cycle. He left at 12, age of 12, that's when he started. That's when he hit puberty. He went away at 12. He didn't squander for 12 years. He meditated, ate right, sun gazed, prayed. Semen retention. 12 years straight. Came back when he's 24, walking on water. Healing. Full of light. Energy. Because he completed the 12-year cycle. Because the cycle is, it happens once a month, 12 times a year. But after the 12th time, every time on the 12th time that it does it, it's something special. It's like a gift. You receive a special gift for getting to that 12th time of doing that. Insight, knowledge, just totally awoken, sharp, on a whole different level. And then the longer you go, you know, you just vibrate so high, you become like Christ. And right there, that's Christ consciousness, because that's the knowledge of. A lot of people say they want to be like Christ. Okay. Can you do it? Can you go 12 years on semen retention? Possibly not. But you could try. You could come close. Right? Because we have the power to do it within us. Okay, we might not be able to go as extreme as he does. But what we can do is We can come close. We might not be able to fast for 40 days or 40 nights, but if you can fast a week, you can cleanse yourself, cleanse your body, begin to heal. You might not be able to do semen retention for 12 years, but if you do it for a year, you know what I mean? And we need to do this because we need to keep our vibrations high and keep the vibration on the planets high, because when we vibe high, we emit heavy radiation, and the radiation we emit covers the planet, comes from the sun, and it helps to wipe away these evil entities that are doing these nasty things on this planet. Okay? And they're gone. They're done for. They cannot survive because Christ consciousness is here, so they're going to be wiped away. Clean. It's a healing. So whatever disease, virus, wickedness on this earth will not survive. It's wiped away. It's done for. It's over with. Because the new energy is here. UVC radiation is here. It's hit ground level. It's purple everywhere. Christ consciousness is here. Semen retention is on the rise. Okay? Christ consciousness is on the rise. The truth is in plain sight. It's right in front of your eyes. I don't know what else to say. All I'm saying is get on your job now and start now, because things are going to happen fast. Okay? It's going to be a hot summer. It's going to be a really, really hot summer. Get on your job now. Don't waste time. The time is now. Okay? The new earth is here. If you're still clinging on to your old ways, it's going to be really tough for you. I don't know what to tell you. So good luck with that. Alright? Alright, my people. Just want to leave you with that note right there. Okay? Tune in, tap into your Christ consciousness. Hold in your energy. Let it build up. And let it cycle. And let it cycle for a duration. 120 days. You can do it. Alright? 120 days challenge. Let's go, let's go. You all ready? In case you didn't know, this is Astro for all y'all who wanna what, wanna who, wanna know. Let's go. Peace. Alright, y'all. I already recorded this, but I just had to come back and say one thing. In no way, shape, or form, alright, am I denouncing the Most High God. Okay, God is real. Good is real. I do believe in the power of good. I do believe in the power of God. Just got a little frustrated when I hear about the kids. You know, that does it for me. And I guess I was just asking, you know, why? Asking God why, and you know, why is he not doing something now? Because I feel like, you know, we're crying out to him. But I know he's doing something. I know the goodness and God is working behind the scenes to make it happen, even though it looks dire on the front. It's all in the Most High's hands. So hopefully the Most High gives me the power to do what I need to do. Wake up enough people that I need to wake up, so we can end this madness as soon as possible. But it looks like it's gonna have to get ugly before it gets pretty. And I accept that. It's gonna be a lot of calamities. But I do believe in the end, good will win. Goodness wins. God will prevail. As long as we stay on our righteous path. God will get us through this. Because our back is against the wall. And it's time for that great escape. So let's prepare for that great escape. I love you all out there. God bless you, whoever is listening to this. May you stay on your righteous path. And maybe we meet on the other side. Because I'll be looking for y'all on the other side.